Still, you know how we talked about those animals. I just seen my buggy go by. Yeah, had to give him some instructions.
You don't have the resolution done. She had to do this like last week. She had to do.
We're gonna have to hear. We're gonna have to hear from that dude again. I can't take it. Miss Bell coming.
I was in card across there.
No, they would just ask her.
Saying cold was just kept broken.
If he loves to catch a huge fish, I could go down there.
Hey, how you doing? All right.
That's how come I got all of them. was thinking, man, what the heck?
I don't have the, you have the agenda minutes?
I just picked it up on
Oh.
the way in.
Usually have it.
How are you? Hello.
I got you. You got you. Minutes. One is the minutes.
That's this is the agenda. Take that. I got two.
You got two agendas?
I did.
You got two folders too. Both of those?
How's that?
Was, well, I don't have the agenda. I don't have a folder with the agenda.
Right here.
Oh, okay.
Miranda. Okay, so she resigned and then came back. That makes sense.
Thank you. Okay. The personnel committee will come to order. Roll call.
Ms. Virginia Bell.
Present.
Ms. Linda Cheney.
Present.
Ms. George Porter.
Present.
Dr. Kelly Joseph.
Yes.
Ms. Watson. Here. Ms. Jackson.
Okay, the first item is to approve the, receive personnel updates. First item, receive personnel updates.
Good afternoon, good evening, rather.
Good evening.
Our report is a little lengthy, and it's a good lengthy though, so we love this kind of length because, it shows the hard work that the principals has been putting in to make sure our learners are receiving the instruction that they need and deserve in the classrooms. So you'll see we have hired 2 administrators at the high school and several teachers other at the high school as well, and then a couple at the other schools in the district. So with that, we did have a few resignations. We had a total of 4. One was academic, the other 3 were support workers. And then we had 1 transfer and 1 termination as well. And if you look at the bottom, you'll see we're only advertising for really, it's a total of 4 positions because the 1 support position is 2 vacancies in that department. And other than that, we're just finalizing, we have those 2 vacancies district-wide, and they are in the process of talking to other teachers outside from the parish to get them to come aboard. If you look at the dashboard report, it'll just show you the numbers of how our vacancies look district-wide. So you'll see at the College and Career Academy, total staff, we're 95% staff with those just 2 vacancies you saw in the academic positions. And then it's the same 2 positions in the teachers that put us at 92%, which is the same thing we were at last month. At the Arts and Technology Academy, that should be 100. That should be 100%. 100% with a 6% increase from last month. And then we are totally staffed right now at the Arts and Technology Academy. At the ELC, uh, school-wide, we have 2 vacancies, but they're not in academics, it's in support workers. So it decreased to 94%. But in teachers, you see we're 100% staffed with our teachers at the Early Learning Center. So district-wide, all over it's 96% staff with just a 2% increase after all the changes we made. And then as far as academic with teachers, we still have 2 vacancies district-wide, and we're at 97% staff. So we're glad about that.
Definitely.
Is
Yeah.
it 2 education positions?
Only 2. And if you look at the termination, it would have been 1 for that if it wasn't for the termination. And so that's all we have. They've been doing a lot of work to make sure the kids, and it's quiet on camp. I went on there, had the opportunity to go, and I was talking and I had to whisper because it was a great feeling to just be on campus when I had to go up there to meet with the administrator, and we just stood outside and I was whispering, talking. So it was a great feeling because everybody's in position and doing what they need to be doing. You have any questions for me?
I would just like to say that's a plus for St. Helena with just 2 vacancies
Right.
in education available. So keep working, keep up the good work.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's try to get those positions filled that way.
Yeah, we're looking forward to having 100% next month. Okay, thank you.
Committee members, I just want to make a note right quick that there is 1 position that is not listed on the report that you received, but I will be sharing that news with you all in a few minutes.
Okay, that concludes the Personnel Committee. The Budget and Finance Committee will come to the board. Oh, I'm sorry, no, we do have another item. Approve the 2026-27 organization chart.
Yes. All right, board members, I do have a presentation to share with you all so you can be aware of our organizational chart for the 2026-2027 school year. Just about everything remains the same, but I want to share with you the things that have changed. The first of which, I've added a new director, Emerging Technologies Director, Ms. Trinice Jackson. She has done a phenomenal job in her department, and she has taken on additional responsibilities, and I think that it is fitting that she assumes the role as a director of Emerging Technologies. Also, we have Ms. Wendy Young, who is our Exceptional Services Director. And as you see on the presentation slide, who she is responsible for, I'm not going to go over each one of them, but she's doing an exceptional job in the Exceptional Services Department. That she services all of our special education needs and all of our 504 plans and all of those things. So Ms. Young is our Director of Exceptional Services. Then moving on to Ms. Ashley Castle, who is our Finance Director. Of course, she's over payroll, procurement, accounts payable, grants, and all things finance. Then moving on to Ms. Singleton, she is our Director of Special Programs and Initiatives. One thing that has changed from her, she is no longer over the virtual academy, and she has taken on the responsibility for Mr. Greg Lewis, who is the Parent Liaison, School Climate, and Culture personnel. Then moving on to our academic division, we have Dr. John Paul, who is still over, he's the academic director of math and science. And we have Ms. Christy Nettles, who is the academic director over ELA and social studies. And you see listed their responsibilities, which includes assistant principal support and new positions, teacher collaboration facilitator for math and science and ELA and math. And these positions have been funded through the Department of Education grant. So we're happy to have those individuals fill those roles. Then we have Ms. Donna Jackson, who is the Director of Human Resources. One thing that has changed from her, she is no longer the direct report for Greg Lewis, who is now with Ms. Singleton. Then we have Ms. Tracy Womack. Tracy Womack, who is the food service director. And of course, she's over all things food service with Ms. Leona Green, who's the food service supervisor, and all of the managers And she's the one that is responsible for ensuring that we have healthy meals for our learners. And then lastly, we have Ms. Trinice Jackson, who will be the Emerging Technologies Director. And we say emerging technologies because we know that artificial intelligence, agentic AI, and all of those new things are impacting how we educate our learners. And so it is important that we have someone who is responsible for ensuring that we move in that direction in a responsible way. So she will be over virtual academy and all of those things technology. And that is it. Any questions?
Was that emailed to us or could we get an email?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I can really see it.
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions or comments on that item? All right, then that concludes the Personnel Committee. The Budget and Finance will come to order. Roll call. Okay, we need a motion on the organizational chart. Please, could I get a motion?
I so moved.
Got a motion by Ms. Porter.
I second it.
Did I get a second?
Yes, you did.
Got a second?
Mr. Willie Bell,
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Yes.
Ms. George Porter,
Yes.
3-0 motion carried, refer to the full board to vote.
Okay, thank you, Ms. News. Budget and Finance Committee,
Mr. Willie Bell,
present.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Present.
Ms. Lolita Porter,
Present.
Dr. Kelly Joseph,
Here.
Ms. Castle, here, Ms. Monet,
Present.
all members are present.
First item, receive and consider for approval a temporary increase not to exceed $1.50 per gallon in the diesel fuel cost allotment for 2 owner-operator bus drivers, effective until diesel fuel prices return to pre-war levels or below 2.85 per gallon.
Yes. During the June 2025 board meeting, owner-operator Frank Robinson requested assistance with the increased diesel fuel expenses. A comparison of recent fuel invoices demonstrates the financial impact of the increase. On February 10, 2026, 200 gallons of diesel fuel at $2.60 per gallon cost $532.75. On March 18, 2026, the same quantity of 200 gallons at $4.32 per gallon cost $865.75. Representing an increase of $333 for the same amount of fuel. Board committee members, you have in your possession a copy of the chart that I would like to go over with you. So based on this information, the board must decide whether to provide support or not. If you decide to support the owner-operators, I recommend temporary assistance that will provide partial relief while still requiring them to absorb a portion of the increased fuel cost. Based on an estimated usage of $200 per month, the district has the following options. So using the pre-war price per gallon of $2.66, we total the cost for assistance by $1, $1.25, and $1.50 per gallon. So you see in the chart what that would amount to using each one of those costs. So for $1.50 per gallon, plus the $2.66, that's the pre-war amount, that equals to $300 per month. For $1.25, that would be $250 per month. And for $1, it would be $200 per month. So the recommendation is not intended to completely reimburse the owner-operators for the increased cost of fuel, but rather to provide reasonable temporary assistance during a period of unusually high diesel prices. The proposed increase provides the board with a measured and fiscally responsible response, especially with the governor's executive order and our own increases in diesel fuel for our board-owned buses that's putting a strain on our budget. The adjustment is temporary, limited to actual fuel-related costs, and is not a permanent increase in compensation or the regular transportation allotment. To protect the district financially, the temporary increase will remain in effect only until diesel fuel prices return to pre-war or fall below $2.85 per gallon, at which time the additional allotment would cease and the district will return to its regular reimbursement structure.
So let's be realistic. We know it's not going under $2.85 per gallon. So the decision that we make as a board, just expect it to be there for a while.
Okay, any questions? Any other questions about this item?
So committee, you all have to make a decision on which option you'd like to choose. The $1.50, the $1.25, or the $1, or nothing at all. It's your choice.
Which amount will be reasonable where it won't cause us any, hardship, Cause like you said, it's doubted if it ever go down to 285, it's be a long time for that, but, so what do you think, what are your recommendations?
My recommendation, if you had to choose from one of the three, it would be the $1. Because looking at our budget for the executive order, if for some reason the governor says, hey, we're going to do it again next year, we would be in a financial bind.
Even if you take the dollar amount, Dr. Joseph, it seems like if the governor come back and do that again, we will be in a bind.
Yes, ma'am, and we'd have to make some decisions at that time. But also remember, it's just 2 owner operators.
So Frank has 2 buses or?
No, it's 2 individuals. It's Frank Robinson, and then it would be Evelyn Morgan.
So this don't include the contract buses.
No, ma'am, we cover those costs. Which is why I said we have, the diesel increase is impacting us as well.
Well, I think we should provide some assistance. If we have to come back later, depending on what the governor does, and make another adjustment, then we could do that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Committee, could I get a motion? Motion item.
You also have an option to table if you want. But it's your choice.
I would say go with the $1.
Ms. Louise say go with $1.
Or what y'all think?
She on that, okay, Ms. Lolita's on that.
The table?
Ms. Lolita, are you making a motion?
It's not big.
Mm.
It's gonna die because you don't have a motion.
Yeah, well, I think I just got one.
Lolita, you're making a motion? Committee, you have the option to select one of the choices here or not choose any,
Or table it, or
or table. It's your choice.
You table it, it's coming right back.
Okay.
So do you have a motion? If it does not receive a motion, it dies for lack of support.
Who are the 2 committee members?
I am and Lolita,
Okay, Lolita said something, I didn't.
She
I'll make the motion to do the
but I'm
$1.
not seconding. Okay, so you can refer it to the full board.
You can.
It can come
The
out of committee,
president-
yes, it can come out of committee.
can Second it in a committee.
The chair, yeah,
Chair
can second it.
Committee can second it.
Okay, and it can go to the full board,
Yeah.
that's my point.
Okay, you have a motion and a second, Ms. Muse.
Ms. Virginia Bell,
Yes.
Ms. Linda Payne,
No,
Ms. Lolita Porter,
Yes.
2-0 motion, 2-1, to refer to the full board to vote.
Okay. Next item. Receive and consider for approval the payment of governor's executive order and district-funded stipends in the amount of $2,000 and $1,000 to all eligible employees. The district will absorb the cost for all employees who are not eligible under the executive order.
The governor's executive order provides funding for employee stipends. However, the eligibility requirements do not include every employee of the school district. As a result, if the district were to distribute only the state-funded stipends, some employees would receive the additional compensation, while other employees would receive no stipend despite their continued service and contribution to the operation of the school system. The district currently has approximately 158 employees. Based on the applicable stipend amounts, employee-related benefits, and eligibility requirements, the estimated financial impact is as follows. And I believe, board members, you have a copy of that as well in your packet. The executive order only for the stipend was $236,167. That is only for the eligible employees under the executive order. However, if you make the decision to include all employees, then the cost goes to $291,887.50. So the difference is $55,720.50 that the board would have to absorb. We believe it is important to recognize that the successful operation of a school district depends upon the collective work of all employees. While the executive order establishes specific eligibility requirements for state funding, those requirements do not necessarily reflect the importance or value of employees whose positions fall outside of the state-funded categories. Providing a stipend to all employees ensures a more equitable approach to employee recognition and compensation. For that reason, I'm recommending that the district absorb the approximately $55,720.50 additional cost, including applicable benefits necessary to ensure that employees excluded from the executive order are not excluded from the district stipend payment. And remember, these are our dollars anyway. The governor took it from our MFP and just gave it back to us and told us that we had to and restricted. The executive order right now is a stipend. We don't know what he's going to do in the future.
Again. Okay, and this is from general fund budget?
Yes, and it is included in the budget.
In the budget.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Committee? Members? Are we considering this, or could we move on? Could we close this down? You consider it?
The executive order is.
There's no way around it.
No.
So I say we stick with the guidelines of what the governor mandated.
Okay, well, what employees will not receive this stipend? If we
Nurses.
go with just the governor, who wouldn't get it?
Principals, district staff wouldn't receive it.
Oh, just
Pre-K
teachers.
is not pre-K teachers.
Pre-K
or
teachers.
they are not
Include them. Let's
included.
roll. Include them.
Okay, I have a motion, Ms. Porter.
I'll make the motion to include.
Okay, I have a motion and a second, I believe, Ms. Muse. Vote, please.
Ms. Virginia Bell,
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Yes.
Ms. Lolinda Porter,
Yes.
3-0 motion carried, refer to the full board to vote.
Okay, and the last item is to receive and consider for approval the 2025-26 audit report.
Yes, Mr. Matthew
Margaglio.
Thank you. From Holders Slavin and Company, who is our external auditor, will be providing you the presentation.
Good evening, everyone. There is a presentation packet that I handed out when I arrived this evening. The full blue packet is your entire audit report. We're not going to go over all of that in detail, but there is the handout that looks like this. It's a quick snapshot of everything that is in the audit. So we wrapped up the audit for the June of 25 fiscal year. We're able to submit that to the legislative auditor about 2 months ago to get y'all caught up with where you need to be. So tonight I'll just go over some of the information in the financial packet. The first page, page 1, is just a summary of what is in here. We talk about the auditor's reports that we prepare as an audit firm. and we talk about the financial data. And all of that includes y'all's responsibilities for the financial statements, internal controls, compliance with rules and regulations, and prevention and detection of fraud. And then it describes our responsibilities to come in and perform the audit in accordance with professional standards from the federal government, legislative auditor, as well as our own as CPA professional standards. Part of what I'm here tonight is to go over what we've discovered, what we've found, and the overall results. And then we'll get into a little bit of the financial data very, very briefly, given that it's June of 2025. We issued an unmodified opinion on these financial statements. So that is considered a clean opinion for our professional purposes. Your bondholders, the grantors, the users of the financial statements, they'll see that and they'll be able to rely on the data that is in here for their decision-making purpose. So when we go through and look at the dollars and cents, we're reporting to these public entities that what we have reported in here is true and accurate in our opinion in all material respects. So that's a clean opinion, the best one that y'all can get. Y'all receive a significant amount of dollars from the federal government. Most of it is passed through the state of Louisiana, but it is all federal dollars. When you exceed $1 million in that revenue sources, we're required by federal law to come in and perform an audit on those major programs and issue an opinion on whether you did or did not comply with those federal programs. The programs that we tested, y'all complied in all material respects with the requirements put on by Washington, D.C. So of the federal dollars that you received that we tested, you did comply with those rules and requirements. When we're doing these procedures, we look at some compliance with laws and regulations that come down from the Legislative Auditor's Office in Baton Rouge, as well as internal controls that the district should have in place, again, from the Legislative Auditor's Office. We had a couple of exceptions that we ran into this year. 3 of them were all interrelated with the timing of the reporting, and it's kind of repeats from what you've had. In order to get this packet put together, it's due by December 31st of each fiscal year. So as I mentioned, we got this one done in June, so it's a few months late. That results in a finding of both the state compliance and the federal timing compliances. In order for it to be late, the internal control issue that we had was the books and records just weren't closed out timely and accurately. We got that trued up. We finally issued the report in June. So that's where 3 of the findings came from. The other one we had was a bid law compliance. Y'all did some improvements to the technology, the audio video system. You use the same vendor that did all of it, which makes perfect sense. But according to the state rules, you should have looked for other vendors. That doesn't make sense, but it's still the state rule to double check that that is what is. We think that y'all got a good deal for it, and all of the system meshed, which is why you use the vendor. So common sense wise, it probably was the cheapest, but the documentation just wasn't there. It's kind of a very one-off circumstance, which non-compliance with bid law is very, very common. And especially in circumstances like this, it's hard to do what's right and comply. Those were the issues that we ran into as far as what we did, what we tested, what we looked at, and the timing of everything. Are there any questions on the results that we've done so far?
That's not considered a material finding, though, is it?
For our purposes, yes, it is considered a material finding because we only report on significant and material issues. Is it a big deal for the purpose of the district and what y'all did and how y'all spent? No, I don't think it is. It's more of a technical non-compliance as opposed to willful non-compliance. Let's use that term. Y'all did the best you could for the district, making the best decisions that are possible. It just didn't quite align with what the state wanted y'all to do. Any other questions on the reporting part so far? So given that these are 2020, June of 25 numbers, I'm just going to very quickly go through the dollars and cents. I believe y'all are going to get a budget information later that is much more current as to what's going on, but I still wanted to hit the highlights since it's in the reporting packet. First page, page 2 is your total revenues and expenses. This covers all of your funds. So all of your federal funds, all of your state funds, all of your local funds. Total revenue came in at about $19.7 million. Your total expenditures came in at about $18 million. The big drop off that we're seeing there, y'all received a bunch of COVID money. That started to wind down in the year that we audited. This upcoming year that we're in, the 25-26 year that just concluded, COVID is gone. So that is a big, big chunk of that dip. The other dip in the expenditure side, y'all had some big capital projects, and those were also concluded in the year under audit. So that accounts for most of the decreases that we're seeing here. The next page, this is just your general fund. We carved this out because all of your federal dollars, they tell you what to do with your money. Your general fund, you get to decide what to do with it. So this is more of the unrestricted resources for y'all to do what you need to fill in gaps or to make your actual budgetary decisions. Your total revenue was very flat, which is a good position to be in, about $9.4 million. Your expenditures did decrease kind of across everything. There were budget cuts and decreases in there. Expenditure decreases, bringing you down to about $8.3 million in your general fund. The next graphic on page 4, this is some of your key revenue sources, just so you can see year over year. I'm just going to look at the 2025. Sales tax, one of your bigger ones, came in at about $2.2 million. Your property taxes came in at about $2.6 million. And then your MFP, which is what the state is messing with right now, came in at about $8.4 million. The last page, just a very quick snapshot. Capital assets, your buildings, your infrastructure, things like that are some of your biggest assets that you have. You have about $30 million sitting in buildings and equipment. One of the big things on the right-hand side of this, your construction in progress, you were able to conclude your big $8 million project. So you total had 6.8 when we were starting. You put another $1.2 million in it, and that's where the big decrease came in. And so you were able to capitalize and complete an $8 million project in the year that we just audited. So that's good to get those projects over and done with. So very, very quick snapshot of the dollars and cents that are in the packet. If there's any questions about that, I can attempt to address them now. Otherwise, thank you, and y'all have a good evening.
Thank you.
Okay, if no other questions concerning the financial, audit report, then that concludes the budget and finance.
Policy committee's called to order. Roll call. Here.
Porter.
Present.
Mr. George Hughes.
Present.
Dr. Kelly Joseph.
Here.
All members are present.
One item to consider here, receive and consider for approval a $50 reduction in the monthly allotment for school board members for each absence from a regularly scheduled board meeting. The reduction may be waived upon submission of a written excuse to the board president for an absence due to a medical emergency or a work-related obligation.
This is an item that was presented by Board President Cheney regarding the regular attendance of board members at monthly school board meetings. The purpose of the proposed reduction is not intended to be punitive. Rather, it establishes a reasonable expectation that receipt of the full monthly allotment should be accompanied by regular participation in the board scheduled meetings and the governance responsibilities associated with board service.
Does anybody else have anything they'd like to say? Joyce? No?
Are you talking to the committee?
What do you consider a medical emergency, like?
Yes.
Does that mean an emergency room, or do you have to?
A doctor's excuse or something of that nature. If you're sick, then you're sick. You know?
Can I get a motion to refer this to the full board?
And second,
Been moved and seconded to refer this item to the full board. Is there any further discussion? I'd like to say something. Who wouldn't pay $50 to get $750? Nobody in here. I think it should be much more if we're going to penalize somebody. But that's all, that's just my opinion. Vote.
Well,
Wait,
No.
Ms. George Porter.
yes.
Mr. George Hughes.
Yes.
1, 2, motion referred to the full board.
That concludes the policy committee.
Education committee will come to order. Roll call.
Ms. Olita Porter.
Present.
Ms. Virginia Bell.
Present.
Ms. Linda Cheney.
present.
Dr. Kelly Joseph.
Here.
Ms. Wendy Young. Dr. Joseph Young Hall.
Present.
Ms. Singleton. Alderman Guzman.
First item, receive and consider for approval the 2026-27 media proposal from Flying Ghost Production and Company.
Yes, committee, this is a contract renewal. However, we had to, because of the executive order from the governor, we had to go back to Flying Ghost and request that they go back to the levels of what they did in the previous year. So that is what was changed. And we also, I want to make it clear that we did an evaluation on all of the contracts. I think I stated this to you all several months ago. So the evaluation was also done on the 2025-2026 contract to ensure that we received a return on our investment. So moving forward, bringing it to before the board for really, making sure that the contracts we bring before you are viable and that we do receive a return on investment from our vendors. And so this contract went through that procedure or that process. I thought it was a really good process, and we do have the information if any of you all would like to see it. But at this time, I'm requesting that you all do approve the contract with Flying Ghost Productions for the 2026-2027 school year.
Madam Chair, I motion that we approve this contract.
I second it.
A motion has been made and second. Motion made by Ms. Virginia Bell, second by Ms. Cheney. Next item. I'm sorry. Vote.
Ms. Lena Porter.
Yes.
Ms. Virginia Bell.
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney.
Yes.
3-0 motion carried. Refer to the full board to vote.
Next item, receive and consider for approval the request for proposal for a high dosage tutoring and ACT tutoring service, the Kirkland Group, high dosage tutoring, top tutors, ACT tutoring.
So we received, as you all know, we put out a request for proposal in the newspapers, and we received 3 RFPs for high dosage tutoring and 3 RFPs for our ACT tutoring. The high dosage tutoring companies that submitted an RFP are the Kirkland Group, A-Tutor, and Brain Fuse. For ACT tutoring, it was Studyville, Top Tutors, and Intervene K-12. So once again, a team of our directors scored each RFP based on a scoring rubric that evaluated the company's organizational qualifications and capacity, experience and past performance, program design and technical approach, staff plan, data collection, progress monitoring and accountability, cost proposal, and family and district collaboration. And based on the information, the Kirkland Group was selected as the high dosage tutoring service provider for this school year. And that is the same group that we worked with last year. And also Top Tutors was selected as the ACT tutoring service provider for this school year. That organization we worked with last year as well. So at this time, we're asking that you approve those 2 requests for proposals, winners, the Kirkland Group and Top Tutors.
I so move.
I second it.
It has been moved by Ms. Virginia Bell and seconded by Ms. Cheney. Can I get a vote?
Ms. Lena Porter.
Yes.
Ms. Virginia Bell.
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney.
Yes.
3-0 motion. Refer to the full board.
And please let me make a note that funding for these 2 companies will be paid through a grant.
Okay. No questions or comments? This closes the education committee.
Ms. Linda Lee, Ms. Lee, can you come to the podium and lead us in prayer, please?
As we bow our head, Father God, we thank you for your power and your glory that you have showed us all day long. Lord God, we thank you for this gathering, and we ask that you will watch over this meeting, guide this meeting, oh God. Watch over our leaders that is heading up this meeting and everyone that's in attendance. We ask that it be blessed, be done in your name, and in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The meeting room will come to order. We are now holding a meeting of the St. Louis Parish School Board. Roll call.
Ms. Porter.
Present.
Ms. Rosita Porter,
Present.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
Present.
Mr. George Hughes,
Present.
Ms. Virginia Bell,
Present.
Mr. Alfred Travis,
Present.
all members are present.
Next item, approve minutes and agenda from July 16, 2026, committee meeting minutes, and July 16, 2026, regular board meeting minutes and current agenda. Can I get a
move
motion?
that we approve all these collectively.
Motion by Mr. Alton Travis, second by Mr. George Hughes. Any questions? No question. Shall pass by general consent. New business, receive and consider for approval a resolution of the St. Helena Parish School Board authorizing the commencement of social media litigation with Fauché Law Firm.
Good evening, your members. I was about to call you all honor because I appear in court so often. Randy has reviewed the resolution, and there was one change, Randy.
As I explained to Ms. Cheney, there'll be one change in the contract, the resolution is signed, and the board has already approved it at the last meeting, so we can move forward with all approvals.
All right, can I get a motion?
I so move.
Motion by Ms. Joyce Porter, second by Mr. George Hughes. Any questions? No question. Shall pass by general consent. Thank you. Item number
Thank
2.
you.
Receive and consider for approval the 2026-2027 annual budget.
Hello.
Hello.
How
Hi.
are you? Madam President, Superintendent, and Board. Just give us 1 second. Alrighty, good evening. Tonight I am presenting the St. Helena Parish School Board operating budget for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2027. The action requested from the board is adoption for the 26-27 operating budget. The budget is presented on a line item basis for review. You should have that. You all should have that. But our main points will be on the slideshow. The budget is for your review. And if you have any questions or anything, you can give me a call or we can schedule a meeting to go over the budget. Alrighty. For our budget at glance, at the district-wide level, the proposed 2026-2027 budget is balanced overall. We are projecting approximately $20.45 million in total revenue and $20.04 million in total expenditures and other uses, leaving an overall projected surplus of approximately $413,000 overall. Our projected total revenues. The budget was developed to maintain a positive fund balance through June 30th, 2027. State and federal sources continue to provide the majority of our district funding, and the overall surplus is positive, but the general fund has a much smaller operating cushion. Let's go to the next one. Where the budget stands by fund. Although the district-wide budget shows an overall surplus, the general fund is the number I want the board to pay particular attention to because it supports our day-to-day operations. The general fund is projected to have only about $24,000 of the current year revenues over expenditures and other uses. The general fund projected surplus is approximately $24,000. Our special revenue fund support, that's grant funded, instruction, federal programs, food service, and general restricted. That is $330,600. Our debt service funds are projected to have approximately $47,000 in the current year surplus. Our capital project funds is projected to have approximately $11,000 in the current year surplus. So for right now, the district is balanced overall, but the general fund operating margin is very limited.
Alrighty, just an update on our MFP funding for our July year-over-year comparison. For July 2025, our MFP was $730,458. This year in July 2026, our MFP was $703,603. The monthly decrease, it was $26,855. The percentage decrease is approximately 3.68%. The July decrease alone is $2,132 greater than the approximate $24,723 general fund surplus currently projected in the proposed budget. If this is similar and it continues over the next 12 months over the school year, the potential annual reduction would be approximately $322,000 out of our MFP over the school year. This is only an illustration. We're not sure what's projected over the months or what will come in, but you can see the decrease in our MFP. This does not mean the district is projecting a loss of 322, but this is just to show you what could happen if this decrease stays the same. Next slide. All right, our general fund pressures. The MFP decrease is especially important because our general fund operating margin is already tight. In addition to revenue uncertainty, the executive order stipend related to employer costs used much of our general fund surplus that otherwise would have been available as our operating cushion. The athletic and coaching stipends and other compensation and operating commitments also included in the budget did a great deal for our reduction as well. Transportation, facilities and maintenance, utilities, insurance, technology, and other required operating costs continue to place a pressure on our general fund as well. Because the general fund surplus is only $24,723, the additional reoccurring commitments should be considered carefully. So we will definitely be watching that over time. So our major spending categories. We have our instruction remains the district's largest spending priority. Support services and non-instructional operations provide the staffing, transportation, facilities, food service, and administrative structure needed to operate our schools. Capital and debt obligations are funded within the proposed plan. So our regular programs, elementary and secondary, they're $9.2 million. Our support services is $5.5 million. Our operation and non-instruction services is $2.8 million. Our facility acquisition and construction is $314,000. Our debt service is $745,000. Our charter school is $188,000, and other financial uses are $1.2 million. All righty. Based on the proposed budget presented tonight, I am requesting the board to adopt the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2027 operating budget of revenues and expenditures. Finance will continue to monitor and budget closely throughout the year, particularly our MFP funds and other state revenues, payroll and benefits, our executive order costs, our athletic stipends, our transportation, facilities, and other major expenditures. We will continue to monitor that, keep you all updated on our spending, our funding, where we will need to hold back, and if we need to present anything major to the board that will be a financial hardship towards our fund balance and overall general.
Move that we adopt the annual budget. for
Motion by Ms.
2026, 2027.
Motion by Ms. Virginia Bell to adopt the annual budget for 2026, 2027. Can I get a motion?
Second.
Second by Ms. Second by Ms. Joyce Porter. Any questions? No questions? Shall pass by general consent.
Thank you.
Item D, superintendent's report.
Good evening, board members, and good evening, community members. Thank you all for coming out to our board meeting tonight. Let me change out my presentation slides. Tonight, we are going to have presentations by our directors and also our school principals to discuss with you all the goals and objectives for this school year and share with you other highlights. We will begin with our new principal for the College and Career Academy, Mr. Jason St. Pierre. As he comes up, I want to remind everyone, once again, our district vision is to create a productive school culture for change that increases learner success, develops educator effectiveness, and builds public confidence. And we work hard every single day to ensure that this vision comes into fruition. So all of the things that you'll hear tonight from our school leaders and our directors will all point to the things that we're doing to ensure this vision occurs. Before Mr. St. Pierre begins, I want everyone to know that it took 2 years for us to get him here in this district. I consider Mr. St. Pierre one of the GOATs when we talk about principals in the state of Louisiana. And I'm not citing my principals that we have with Ms. Smith and Mr. McPherson, because they are also GOATs. We have 3 wonderful, fantastic principals at our schools doing some phenomenal work. But to have Mr. St. Pierre here is really special. So I'll let him share information with you all and then share the things that he's going to be doing to change the culture and climate and everything around St. Helena College and Career Academy.
Madam President, Dr. Joseph, members of the board, it's an honor to be standing before you tonight. A lot of great things happening at St. Helena College and Career Academy. I'm proud to announce we've had a great 9 days of school. The kids, several of you have been to the school. Students are in the classrooms and the teachers are teaching. My goal is to bring our scores up, and we will do that. This is my 22nd year as a high school principal. So I'm honored to be here, and I came here to change the school because I believe in the system and I believe in the students. So I'm excited about that. Couple things, the new school year, tomorrow we have our first motivational speaker. Every week I want to get in front of the students and just touch base with them, get them to change the culture and a culture of learning. So class meetings, I've already met with our classes. Every morning or most mornings, I'm meeting with the students before school starts. So the excellence incentives is PBIS. We're going to reward our students based on their performance. That would be academic performance and behavioral performance. I talked to Dr. Joseph about a few, and we're working on some good and great incentives for our students. I believe in raising the standard and being excellent. So I call them excellent incentives instead of PBIS. We have reopened PJs up. It's going very well. I brought my teacher that I had at Walker High School, so it's up and running at full capacity. We're looking at bringing a Nike store by homecoming, and there's some other things that we're doing on campus for students to give them opportunities. And also, we're remediating all of our students in LEAP subjects, because this year is a year where the 9th graders are not required to take the LEAP test, because next year we're going to a comprehensive LEAP test with English and math. So we are remediating our students. Tomorrow they're taking a proficiency exam so we can gauge where they are with data and make data-based decisions for our students and our teachers. So that's a few things we're doing at the beginning of the year. Short-term goal, increase attendance. We started keeping track of tardies, of school days attendance. Students cannot learn if they're not in class and in school. So increase attendance, decrease behavior infractions. We've done that already with our students. They know I mean business. And so they know that. Increase scores on benchmarks. We're going to start our first informal benchmark tomorrow. And in late September, we're going to judge our performance. I put up a lot of pressure on our teachers So they need to teach, and I need to give them tools and the capability of teaching in class. That's empowering teaching students. And the last thing is maximizing learning. You know, the greatest thing that we could do in our classroom to raise test scores is to increase instruction in the classroom. That's the number one thing. The teacher is the number one factor in the classroom. So right now, as y'all heard earlier, we've got one position that is not open, and it's a child-specific position in SPED. So we do have teachers in every position. So I'm excited about that. And we're going to continue to build the capacity of our teachers. Closing, awesome first 2 weeks of school. I know we got one more day to make a full 2 weeks, but I'm so proud of our students. I'm proud of our faculty and our staff. They've done a phenomenal job. I just wanted to raise the standard. I just believe in being excellent. We've got 5 choices in life. We could be bad, average, good, elite, or excellent. And if we're going to be excellent, we can't be the other 4. So to raise that standard at our school, our kids deserve it, our community deserves it, and that's the product we're going to give to them. I'm excited to see teachers learn and see learners grow. Today or this week, they're teaching bell to bell, all 90 minutes. And we're assuring that, and I'm inspecting what I expect. And the transformation is exciting to witness. And I invite all of you, I know I haven't met each one of you. I've been backwards with my hair on fire the last 3 weeks. So, but I want to meet you. You're more welcome to come to the school. I want to say publicly, Dr. Joseph has been phenomenal. She has given us the tools. I want to say thank you to the board, because without you, we couldn't do what we do in supporting us. And we're going to continue to do great things at St. Helena. And we're going to get out of urgent interventions. That's what I keep messing that up. But urgent interventions, we're going to have our kids grow, and we're going to give them opportunity, and we're going to make the community and the board proud of the product that we put out. And when they walk across that stage, this entire parish will be proud. So thank you for your support and the ability to talk to you tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we have Ms. Tempest Smith, principal for the Early Learning Center. Another GOAT.
Good evening, board, Dr. Joseph. I want to start by saying I love a good theme. So our theme for this year, coincidentally, we're also on an expedition to excellence. So we started with our new school year activities, and we started by we focused on centering around the district vision. And so everything we do aligns with the district vision. We made sure that we increase learner success by welcoming our learners and making sure that they have a successful school year, establish classroom routines and procedures. We also made sure we had structured learning environments. So we've been doing walkthroughs to make sure learning environments are conducive for learning. We first want to make sure they're conducive so that they can learn. And our teachers have taken this to a whole nother level as far as making this look like a safari. Is we have vines going from the ceiling and grass along, everyone's taking the theme abroad, and so the learners are really enjoying that. We also are developing our educator effectiveness. Our staff engaged in Professional Learning Week, and it focused on instructional priorities and increasing learner success. And of course, we've been building public confidence. We've hosted a meet and greet for our parents to come in, and we invited them in to meet their teacher, the new teacher. That was successful, as well as we've been communicating with families through newsletters and social media. We've also had our first parent-teacher organization meeting today. We had a PTO meeting, and that was successful as well. We had a great turnout. And we have a few pictures of the meet and greet and some classroom spaces. Our short-term goals, we would like to continue to increase learner success. We're going to do that by finishing off first our beginning of the year literacy and numeracy screening. We'll be testing for the month of August. After we see where our learners are, we are going to provide targeted interventions by using that learner data to put them into intervention groups. We will continue to monitor teaching and learning and high-quality instructional materials to make sure Tier 1 instruction is happening in classrooms. We also, our ILT works very effectively to make sure we're developing an educator effectiveness. We differentiate our teachers, make sure we have coaches in every classroom and support every new teacher, as well as teachers who need additional support, even if they've been here for a few years. We build their capacity through collaborative planning, and we have a new PLC facilitator, Ms. Holland, who's doing an excellent job and already engaged in one this week, and implementing Tier 1 curriculum. We also make sure that we provide timely feedback with our classroom walkthroughs so that teachers can immediately provide that support in the classroom. And we're going to continue to maintain consistent communication with our families to build public confidence, increase our family engagement. We look forward to next month hosting our first Grandparents' Day, again, having our grandparents back on campus and celebrating and communicating learner school successes. All right, any questions?
I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Uh-oh.
I want you to share with everyone what's the projected letter grade for your school as a result of the increased performance with your literacy screen.
So as I said, we have been working extremely hard. And I cannot take this on alone. It's my staff. They work amazing with the kids. The kids even know their data and they work hard to do more and push themselves. So they have their own goals. And we are projected to be a B-rated school. So we're looking forward to continuing that success this year.
Congratulations.
Mr. McPherson, do you have your? All right, let's bring up Mr. Bernard McPherson.
What happened?
What's it called?
Shot of board presentation.
Beth said that she was a manager at the first bank in Greensboro.
She looks embarrassed, man.
Huh?
She looks.
No, she not. She really not. She joined the Technical Development Board in Morocco. We all asked, ganged up on it. I said, no, I'm not getting up.
Good evening, members of the board and Hawk Nation. This year at St. Helena Arts and Technology Academy is our year of the incredible. So let's dive right in. Here's where we're heading and what our team.
So,
Got to do excellent.
it's another great year in St. Helena Parish School District. Before we start with this video, I do want to thank each and every one of you all for the opportunity to serve in this capacity. I always say, Ms. Bell, I'm from 5th Ward, Monday through Friday, and I'm from Ward 1, Saturday and Sunday, and then I alternate as the months go on. But I thank you all for that. We're all about instruction.
Did you just say that?
Ma'am?
Oh, okay.
No. It's a joke. So I'm just so glad to be here. We're all about instruction. We're glad that we saw a lot of great gains in our academic performance. We're ready to build on that starting from day one. You'll see in our presentation, I gave you all just a physical copy of the 2 slides that I'll be referencing, that we are hitting the ground running. We're in classrooms. We're providing the targeted support in that data. And once again, I'm proud to be a member of Hawk Nation. So, Madam Superintendent, can you do the honors?
Good evening, members of the board and Hawk Nation. This year at St. Helena Arts and Technology Academy is our year of the incredible. So let's dive right in. Here's where we're heading and what our team has already accomplished in just the first few weeks of school. We hit the ground running from day one. We welcomed every learner with a first day pep rally that set the tone for the entire year. We made sure to identify our learners who were no-shows and put safeguards in place for those who have a history of being habitually truant. Tier 1 instruction was already up and running in week 1, and we crafted every homeroom roster to be intentionally balanced using LEAP data and other assessment sources to make sure we could provide targeted assistance from day one. On the educator side, our teachers have been meeting weekly in PLCs with consistent classroom walkthroughs since week 1. And model lessons have been provided as needed to support teachers where they need it the most. And we've strengthened our ESS and new teacher support to make sure every educator, no matter how long they've been with us, has what they need to succeed. We've already completed 2 full rounds of observation and data feedback cycles with every core content teacher, giving each one a clear picture of trends, areas of growth, and next steps. And for public confidence, our social media presence is growing every week, and our new Chalkline portal is giving parents real-time access to what's happening in their child's classroom. Our community is more connected to this school than ever before. That's what we've already built. Now, here's where we're headed next. Our short-term goals for the rest of the year. First, quality of instruction. Our team is in classrooms every single day, conducting walkthroughs, providing guided support, real coaching conversations, and we're zeroing in specifically on the teacher content knowledge domain of the Louisiana Educator Rubric. That means we're not just checking a box on whether Tier 1 curriculum is being used. We're pushing hard to make sure it's being implemented with real fidelity, the way it's designed to work. Second, using data to drive instruction. Right now, we're gearing up to complete our reading and math screeners across the entire school to know exactly where every learner stands. That data feeds directly into our tiered support groups initiatives, where we're utilizing all of our staff members, no matter their title, to ensure that we provide our learners everything that they need to fill in their academic gaps. And third, ensuring mastery of content. This is where it all comes together. Our grade level teams meet regularly in PLCs to look at mastery data side by side and adjust instruction in real time, not weeks later. We're planning to back that up with exit ticket analysis bi-weekly and common formative assessments tied directly to grade level standards. So when gaps show up, we catch it early before they grow. St. Helena Arts and Technology Academy is off to a strong, focused start, and I'm proud of what our team has already built in just a few short weeks. We're ready to build and maximize on the growth from last year, and we thank you all for your support. Here's to an incredible year of being #St. Helena winning.
Any questions? Thank you once again.
All right, next we have Ms. Singleton, who is our Director of Special Programs and Initiatives. She will come up and share information with you all.
Good evening, everyone, board members. I do not have a video. I did not know I was going after Mr. Technology. But tonight I just wanted to give some updates from the Special Programs and Initiatives Department and just some things that we are looking forward to in the 26-27 academic year. So our focuses include early childhood. This is the first year in a few years that our LA4 classrooms are at max capacity. We have 40 pre-K learners across the 2 classes, and we still have several parents who want to get their kids in. So I think that says a lot to what our pre-K department has accomplished in the past years, because they want their children in, but then they also want to request certain teachers. For this year, the early childhood department did secure funding through the LDOE, through the preschool development grant, to enhance early language and literacy instruction for our children birth to 5. And so that was an additional allocation that the state awarded at the end of last school year. So we are doing monthly calls with LDOE to do a spin down of that allocation. And this year, our pre-K teachers were trained during the PD week on a new platform. We always use teaching strategies for our TS Gold assessment, but this year they are including the Gold Finch platform, which is almost like game simulation, but to help them grow in those objectives and domains that they'll be documented for TS Gold. Our targeted academic supports, we received our HDT allocation amount a few weeks ago for our K-5 learners in English and math. And of course, there were 2 allocations this year. So our outcomes-based allocation and then that EIR pilot allocation we got for our second grade learners in ELA that will get it through air reading. And then finally, increased interest in our dual enrollment programs. In July, the school held a dual enrollment sign-up fair. And next week on the 19th is when the learners start at North Shore. There are 46 learners this year that completed the application, 38 for technical programs, and 8 that are looking for those gen ed classes, the finite math, physics, intro to biology, and the English comp. And so we have all of those learners that will be going to North Shore. And then, of course, we have our CCMA program that is returning, and there are 13 learners that will be doing that program on campus at the College and Career Academy. Community partnerships, 3 of us in the district, myself, Ms. Clark, and Ms. Burton, completed the CMC training through the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank to streamline our recertification and monthly tracking process. And at the conclusion of that, we were given 3 tablets and all of the equipment to track that data electronically, so we don't have to do all the forms anymore. Our intern partnership network is expanding. We've had some other organizations express interest in bringing in interns, and I think that speaks to the success that we've had in growing that program. And then our continuation of the conflict resolution and peer mediation program, we had 24 plus learners last year that became trained mediators, and next week is the first training for the next group, and then our current mediators will get a refresher, and that's through Southeastern with Dr. Hatcher. Highlights, and these are really from information we got from July. Our internship program did receive funding for our 14 interns. We got that notification from the state that we got that full funding for everyone we submitted. And then our Jumpstart Summers program ended in July. We had a June group and a July group, and we had 9 learners that successfully completed the Jumpstart Summers program through the welding program at North Shore. And 6 of them completed both sessions, June and July, and 3 of them received new certification. So we are extra proud of them, and they are going to be recognized at the September board meeting. And yes, they get a stipend for completion. So, and they are nice amounts. So our short-term goals for our department, of course, strengthen early childhood access and readiness, expand our academic intervention services, the develop a coordination learner and family support system. That is something that my team is working on to streamline referral services for the learners and families, so that if they need a mental health service, that information goes directly to who would provide that service. So it won't be, a passing conversation. It'll be more streamlined to give them those accesses. And then to increase our stakeholder awareness and confidence. Any questions for me?
Yeah.
So the
I
kids
thought-
that, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
The kids that completed in July and June and July, so
Yes,
they got the level 1 certification?
No.
Okay,
3 of them were brand new, so they had to start at core.
okay, gotcha.
Yes, ma'am.
But we did have kids that got the level 1?
No, they have one more part they have to do in the fall so they
Okay.
can take the test.
Okay,
Because when they started, these were learners who started at core last year,
Mhm.
and because they didn't go in with
core, that makes a
it
difference.
pushed them back like a term.
Right,
So they're kind of catching up.
I got you.
But they are all
On track.
continuing this semester.
Okay.
Yes,
Nice.
ma'am.
I thought, could I understand you to say that we only had 2 pre-K classes,
Yes, we have 2 LA4 funded pre-K classes.
but then we used to have 3.
We had 3, 2, it's always been 2 LA4. And then the third class was funded through 8G.
So we don't have that program anymore.
So that's that essentially the state now awards 8G allocations. They give you the amount in midsummer, and you have to write a proposal because it's not only for early childhood anymore. They expanded the scope of the grant to include college and career readiness, early childhood. It's like 5 other categories that you have to write your proposal based off of. But this is the second year that it's just been those 2 LA4 classes. But with the numbers, we may need to look at
Yeah,
what we can provide in the future.
because I was gonna say, if you have kids on the waiting list, you have enough to fill a class.
Not enough to fill a class.
Okay,
Not enough to fill a class.
I'm just wondering.
Yes, ma'am. And those, that 8G class is also for those that didn't meet the qualifications, the income guidelines for LA4. And 95% of our families do.
Okay.
They qualify for free LA4.
I was just checking, because I remember it used to be 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, next up, we have Ms. Christy Nettles, Director of Academic Programs for ELA and Social Studies.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Joseph, and community members. I would like to share a few exciting pieces of information from the ELA and social studies areas. 2026 summer reading assignment completion. St. Helena Early Learning Center, we had 81 learners. At St. Helena Arts and Technology Academy, 117 learners completed their reading assignment. And at St. Helena College and Career Academy, as always, had the highest amount of learners to complete that assignment, and that is 181 learners with a grand total of 370 learners that actually were committed to completing that reading assignment. Another exciting activity in the ELA and Social Studies Department is that we are going to continue with our Amira AI reading tutor. It begins on September 8th. We saw a lot of growth in the data last year with our learners being able to read into that actual program and having that real-time intervention when they make like a reading mistake with fluency, decoding words, they get that immediate feedback. And also a social studies celebration. We were #1 in the state for growth. We had a 9-point growth for our district. So congratulations to the learners, teachers, and school leaders for all of the hard work and dedication to having that effective social studies instruction that really did help us grow to be #1 in the state on our 2026 Spring Leap Social Studies Assessment.
We're also #1 for Amira.
And we were also #1 in the state for Amira usage. And it wasn't just the kids getting online, because we actually did see that growth with that data that was presented to us. So 2 #1s, great job, ELA and social studies. Okay, so this year, I really wanted to connect our ELA and social studies, our priorities, to our 3 instructional focus areas for the district. which is using data to drive instruction, ensuring mastery of the content, and improving the quality of instruction. So my priorities align with our district's instructional focus. This year, I'm going to implement an ELA LEAP writing cycle. I have created for each grade level standard aligned ELA exit tickets that will basically help to identify those learning gaps immediately. LEAP aligned do now task, which will be that daily warm up to build skills and prepare our learners for that grade level content on the LEAP. Ensuring that mastery of content. This is something that I'm really focusing on this year, and it's in high impact ELA practices with our LEAP aligned do nows, our exit tickets, and targeted reteaching of those masteries of those standards that learners did not master. And I also will be implementing the social studies best practices, our Gallup checkpoints, unit assessments, source analysis, the implementation of the CER responses, and our LEAP style tasks. It will not only build content mastery, but it's also going to build those skills that they need to pass that LEAP 2025 assessment. And improving the quality of instruction with our ELA in math observation cycle. It's our 3-week cycle. It's that PLC, that observation and feedback, and that targeted classroom support. And it's always going to promote that continuous improvement. And it is connected to our Louisiana Educator rubric. So again, these are just a few of the priorities that I'll be focusing on this year in my department. And for the short-term goals, I did really hone in pretty deep on our short-term goals. I know for our ELA 3-week observation cycle, this is just short-term. At least 85% of our observed ELA classrooms will achieve an average score of 3.5 or higher on that Louisiana Educator rubric. High-impact ELA practices. By the end of the first 9 weeks, at least 70% of the learners will score an 80% or higher on those standard aligned ELA exit tickets. Our LEAP writing cycle, by the end of the first writing cycle, 65% of our learners scoring 85%. And our social studies best practices, by the end of the first 9 weeks, 90% of our social studies classrooms will demonstrate at least 5 of the 7 best practices. And I am very committed into improving our LEAP scores in ELA. So I am going to implement 3 high impact instructional practices. They're clear, consistent, and data driven. We are going to do our LEAP aligned do now task from the beginning of every lesson, our standard aligned exit tickets at the end of every class period to measure the standard and the skill taught. It's going to actually help us to guide that immediate feedback and be able to prepare our learners, for the next day. ELA LEAP writing cycles. It's a repeated LEAP extended response practice. We deal with text analysis, evidence selection, and written expression. And lastly, with these impacts, I do believe that we will have very positive outcomes with our learners in both reading and writing proficiency. We're going to have our ELA 3-week observation cycle, which will build stronger instruction and improve classroom experience for our learners. High impact ELA practices to improve our reading and writing proficiency and mastery of those standards. Our ELA LEAP writing cycle builds stronger writing skills, and our social studies best practices to build that exceptional growth and continue the momentum of being #1 in growth for social studies with that deeper understanding of social studies content. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
3 minutes. 3 minutes, okay. All right, next is Dr. Joshua John Paul, who's our Director of Academic Programs for Math and Science.
Good evening, board. Good evening, everyone. I would like to start off with some key milestones from 25-26. Among the Louisiana Lift districts for 25-26, we were ranked #2 as far as ZERN completion is concerned. For science growth, we tied #3 as far as the growth is concerned. And in math, we were ranked #7 in Louisiana out of the 7 school system. I appreciate all the principals and leaders and teachers and students for their hard work and dedication and commitment throughout the year. And we were also recognized by the State Department of Education last week for the ZERN success. 50% of our learners scored more than 60%, 90, I think 80% completion throughout the year. So that is a great achievement. Once again, I appreciate all the principals for their dedication. And we also recognize the teachers every semester. And last year, Ms. Causey, Ms. Hurst, and Ms. Cryer were recognized for their Zern achievement. Trajectory growth, as you see, the numbers are here. As far as math is concerned, we hit the double digit for the first time. That is a positive note, positive growth. And also across the district, we moved from 6 to 10%. So the key strategies powering this climb was based on planning and coaching, high quality instructional materials, implementation, and then the rigorous progress monitoring. Our system level goal for the upcoming year, we're going to focus more on, our department will be focusing more on the growth section of the new accountability system. At least 25% of our learners will grow in math as far as the growth component is concerned. And then as far as the bottom 25%, our goal is to ensure that we are reaching 40%. That is required at all school levels, I mean, all campuses. That is our goal, to improve the growth from whatever the level we are to 40%. And the short-term goals for math at the end of cycle 3, we want to make sure that 80% of our math teachers are improving their content knowledge. And it will be measured through the LER indicator called teacher content knowledge, because we see that most of the time they know the strategy, but they are lacking the content knowledge. So this year, throughout the year, all our observation cycle PD will be focusing heavily on improving their content knowledge. Once they know the content, they know how to deliver the lessons. As for science, by the end of October 2026, we want to make sure that they implement the Tier 1 curriculum as it is intended. The score on the rubric will also be, we'll be expecting 3 or more. The instructional engine for mastery, as everyone mentioned, there are like 3 areas: plan, deliver, and monitor. So as far as planning is concerned, as everyone mentioned, we are having ELA math observation cycle, coaching and feedback. As far as the delivery is concerned, implementing the Tier 1 curriculum as it is intended. For math, we have the RDW, CUBE strategies, and so forth. For science, we will focus heavily on the CER and the science and engineering practices strategies. 3-week observation cycle, as we all are aware, the first week we will be focusing on the area that the teachers need support. And second week, we will be focusing on observing and providing the feedback to the teachers. And third week, we will be in the classroom to provide the in-classroom support. As far as the math priorities for our department is, I think K through 8, we are having Zern. And this year, our focus will be completing 4 lessons, 30 minutes every day. Last year, the goal was 80%. We are increasing to 85% on more. We will be also focusing more on how the teachers are using the Tower Alert reports. It is not just a completion. Of course, they go through the productive struggle, but are they really using the Tower Alerts to see where the learners are struggling by content? And also, we will be heavily focusing on the assessments, especially the end of mission and mid-mission. We will also use the lesson prep protocol and the unit study tool from the State Department. For science, we see the teachers are using the curriculum, but at the same time, sometimes they are front-loading the information before the learners are going through the productive struggle. So we will be focusing more on how the teachers should be using the science and engineering practices, which is already embedded in the curriculum. That means allowing the learners to ask questions or develop the initial model instead of just like loading the information. So because on the LEAP test, we have this 3 shifts, making sure that the teachers and the learners are asking questions in the classroom. They have to make sense of the phenomenon. Don't front load the information until they come to the core idea. Closing, these are the tools we'll be using. From LER, we'll be using the teacher content knowledge I mentioned. As I mentioned before, we'll be focusing more on activities and materials as well. These are the other tools, how we will measure the progress. And so these 3 areas, what I mentioned before, will be like a gear that will look like a full assembled engine that will drive our department. Thank you.
Next, we have Ms. Tracy Womack, Director of Child Nutrition and Wellness.
Good evening, board, committee. Our organization chart has already been established, but a small snapshot. a small, Dr. Joseph warned me because I talk a lot. A small snapshot for your, you can see up there. I'm not gonna go into it. I just want to let you know, the nutritional department is here for our learners, and we are striving to make sure that they get everything that they need. Um, as you can see, uh, from the 2026 Leadership Conference, and we focus on structures, system structures, process, and outcome. I brought that back to my staff. And one of the things that resonated in my mind is that you need to recognize your faults and take responsibility for your actions. That was one of the things. So what I did is we came together, we retrained, and we re-educated our managers. We know it was going to be a tough thing, but we know they either was going to fall in line or fall out of line. So this was a real good PD day where everybody came in. We retrained the staff on what our expectations were and what we expected of them. Also, our biggest challenge is, I know with the high school, they brought a challenge, and my open challenges is doing one serving line and 37 minutes. And in the back of my head, I was going, oh, that's impossible. That's impossible. Some days it worked, some days it didn't work. But we was committed to make sure that our learners got what they need with a smooth transformation. But anyway, we got our committee together with the learners, and they discussed and told us what they want. Some things we could do, some things we couldn't do. So that is our goal, especially at our high school, because the participation is low. We are committed to build a menu around those high schoolers to get them what they need. One of the biggest takeaways for me with the managers is it's not just management, it's more than management. You can manage anybody. It's just developing people. Our biggest thing, developing people to get people where you need them to be. And that's our goal. Develop, and train. I'm going fast here. Okay, our models, as you know, we do breakfast in the classroom, and it's primary at our early learning center at St. Helena College and Career Academy and St. Helena Art and Technology. We do grab and go. Just some few notes that we encourage that our principals make sure that they have the teachers to push our students through for our lunchtime to increase, because that's the way we make our money, and encourage each learner to eat. Oh, Dr. Joe, I'm going fast. Okay, and then like the outcome, every school had to do a goal, and as you know, we came up with a lot. A lot of them was participation. A lot of them was decreasing waste. It was a lot of, but overall, what we are trying to do is make sure each school at least from 3 to 10% increase our participation. So if it's anything that you need from us, please let us know. We are all in this together. It's not no I, it's we. We are all in this together. So I appreciate everything. Just let me know. I knew you was going to be.
We're going to do one more presentation, and that is with Mr. Deshaun Muse. He's going to come up and talk about the program that we're going to start at, or the activity we'll have at St. Helena College and Career Academy, St. Helena is Winning Conference.
I'll try to beat your timer. All right. It's good to be in a community where you get acknowledgement for good. This past week, we've been on the news in a positive way, and hopefully we can keep that going. So I want to present to you all the St. Helena winning from here to anywhere. You have the PowerPoint.
Go ahead on.
Okay. So the big question is, what if every learner in St. Helena Parish could see living proof that success is possible? They could meet successful people who started where they started from. They could learn careers they never knew existed. They could build relationships with mentors and lead believing they can change the lives for others and future learners. Next, why this event? Too often, learners hear what they can't do, what they don't have, and what they lack. St. Helena winning will show them what is possible. This event changes the narrative from "Can I succeed?" to "I will succeed." So the vision: a parish-wide celebration of achievement, leadership, opportunity, community pride, learner success, and future possibilities. This will be the largest learner inspiration and career exposure event in the parish history. The problem many learners struggle with: limited exposure, limited network, limited career awareness, lack of role models, low confidence, and future opportunities. Research consistently shows learners cannot aspire to what they have never seen. The solution: bring success directly to our learners. We can invite doctors, lawyers, engineers, entrepreneurs, educators, military leaders, business owners, authors, athletes, and public service. Um, People from our communities, our school, and similar backgrounds. Event experience. We would have a walk of winners where the honored guests would come down on a red carpet. Leader ambassadors. We have a school band, cheerleaders, community celebration, successful alumni honored like celebrities. Because our learners need heroes they can actually meet. From St. Helena to success. The emotional centerpiece, a powerful panel featuring former students, current leaders, and successful alumni. Discussion topics are obstacles they overcame, lessons learned, how education changed their lives, advice for today's students, their stories, our inspiration, our learners, our future. Um, then you'll have a college and opportunity expo, similar to like a career day. Representatives from Southern University, Southeastern, LSU, BRCC, North Shore Technical College, other trade schools, and militaries. Learners will leave with scholarship information, career paths, college admission resources, and workforce opportunities. Then we would also have Entrepreneur Street. So that would be where um, you have small businesses. They can meet local business owners, build strong communities. They can start. They can learn about startups, discover new ideas, see innovation in action. Student entrepreneurs, like young leaders, big ideas will create real impacts. And then financial literacy workshops where they can learn how to save, invest, budget, and build wealth. Then you would have the career world. This would be similar to like breakout rooms where you would have interactive career zones in healthcare, public service, technology, law enforcement, skilled trades, military, and business. These would be people from our community and then organizations around our area. Then from that, students will create, well, learners would create a winning wall where they can write out their future on the wall. So that would motivate them and their teachers to help keep educating them to build on what they need for their future. The community impact, together we build brighter futures. This event will bring together the schools, families, churches, businesses, alumni, government leaders, community organizations, all unite around one mission, and that's student success. Media impact, there's a lot of narrative that we can write, but we could have a headline that says the community unites around educational excellence. So the expected outcomes would be learners will increase career awareness, gain confidence, build aspirations, meet mentors, learn about scholarships, explore future opportunities, and the community will strengthen partnerships, build pride, promote positive stories, increase alumni engagement. The long-term vision, year one, it will be a signature event. We would launch a powerful and inspiring experience. Year two, we have mentorship workshop where we connect learners with mentors who guide and encourage them and invest in them. And then year three, we hope to create opportunities that remove barriers and open doors to higher education by doing a scholarship. What we need the support from the school board, superintendent, principals, community partners, alumni, businesses, and faith leaders. Together, we can create a life-changing experience for every learner. St. Helena winning from here to anywhere. A learner may forget a lesson, a learner may forget a worksheet, but they will never forget the day they met someone who showed them what is possible. Thank you. So, St. Helena Winning Day, if one day can change a student's future, how many futures can we change if we do this together? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. And just another note about this conference that we're going to have. It's going to be the Wednesday during homecoming week. And so we have already put together, Ms. Linda in the back, she's already put together a survey for our learners to take. And once we collect that information, we'll use that as a way to drive what is going to take place at the conference. So we're very excited about that. It's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be well worth it because our kids are going to have a great experience on that day. So we look forward to continuing that work. And with that, that concludes my presentation.
You're not gonna let Ms. Young go?
Next time.
Okay, next time.
Item E, approve committee reports. We cannot approve these collectively. We have two items that were referred from committee to the full board. The first item was to receive and consider for approval a temporary increase not to exceed $1. Ms. Lolita made that motion in the diesel fuel cost allotment for 2 owner-operator buses effective until the diesel fuel price return to pre-war levels or below. Can I get a motion to do it for $1?
A second.
Motion by Mr. Hughes, second by Ms. Bell. Any questions? No questions? Vote.
Ms. North Porter,
No.
Ms. Lolita Porter,
Yes.
Ms. Linda Cheney,
No.
Mr. George Hughes,
Yes.
Ms. Virginia Bell,
Yes.
Mr. Alton Travis,
No.
3.
3-3, no action will be taken. Next item. That we need to take a vote on that was referred from the full board was that last item action, which was to, on the policy committee, receive and consider for approval a $50 reduction in the monthly allotment for school board members for each absent from a regularly scheduled board meeting. The reduction may be waived upon submission of a written excuse to the board president for an absence due to a medical emergency or work-related obligation. Mr. Travis, you can amend that motion if you would like to.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So can I get a motion on that, item?
I so move.
Motion by Ms. Joyce Porter. Can I get a second? No second. It dies for lack of support. All right, and we will approve all of the other committee meetings items, collectively. Can I get a motion to approve them collectively?
I so move.
Motion by Mr. Travis, second by Ms. Bell. Any questions? No question? Passed by general consent. Item F, executive session. Can I get a motion that we go into executive session to discuss Vernon Garden, ETAL versus St. Helena Parish School Board, ETAL 21st JDC number 25510. Can I get a motion to go into executive session?
I so move.
Motion by Ms. Joyce Porter, second by Mr. Hughes. We shall go into executive session. Motion passed by general consent. We shall return. Can I get a motion that we return from executive session? Motion by Mr. George Hughes, second by Ms. Porter, that we return from executive session. The item that we went into executive session, we're taking the necessary steps with that case. Item G, meeting closing. The next meeting date will be September the 10th, 2026. Closing comment, board members. Any board members? Okay, go ahead, Ms. Porter.
I mean, you just up ahead. I just want to welcome all the employees back, and that you all have a marvelous school year. I have met with Mr. St. Pierre. We had a long conversation. I went to something else, but we went into the other stuff. But I told him I'd be sneaking on his campus. He said, "You don't have to sneak, just walk on in." So Miss Smith and Mr. McPherson, I'll be just walking in y'all campus. I ain't gonna say sneak. So, but if you all need me, you know where I'm at. All three of you now have my number, and use it. That's what Mr. St. Pierre told me to do with his, use it. So you all have mine, use it. Don't call me for bad stuff when they being bad. Here, Miss Smith and Mr. St. Pierre, don't call me when they being bad. Call me with the good stuff. But laying all jokes aside, if you all need me, I'm here.
Any other board member?
Yes. After Christmas, you can throw that number away.
They can still call me Mr. Travis. They can still call me. Whether I'm a board, whether not, still call me.
All right, I do have a few comments that I would like to say. First of all, I'm excited that you guys have had excellent start to the new school year. I see that you guys are starting strong, and I'm gonna leave this with you: finish strong. Even though we won't be here at the end of the year, I expect to hear great things. And I want everyone to know that this board was a part of implementing the things that are in place now. So I'm sincerely asking you guys to definitely finish strong for this school year. Also, I'm excited. I don't know about the other board members. I was excited to hear from Faulkner about that audit report that we have.
Yes.
Okay, so all I can say is hashtag St. Helena winning. Keep up the good work. And I'll take that last motion. Everybody, this meeting is adjourned.